My name is Sharelle Tasek. I'm one of the founding members of Newgen Academy. Newgen Academy is a private school within the Eldorado Park community. We were started 10 years ago, which means we celebrate our 10 years in 2024, which is an absolute milestone for a school within this community. We are exceptionally proud of our school for standing in a time when most schools who are funded could not survive, and that is within COVID. We are a beacon within this community, and we are so thankful and grateful for the 10 years of the support of parents and our learners, and especially our staff. Newgen is a school of excellence. We have had 100% pass rate 2 years consecutive. We are the top academic school within this area and district. Our learners start from grade 1 through to matric. Next year we have our 7th matric class, and we are hoping that our 2023 class of matriculants have once again given us 100% pass rates. Newgen Academy is founded on 3 pillars. It is within our logo. If you have a look at our logo, our core pillars are academics, discipline, technology, and sports and culture. We are the only e-learning school within the Eldorado Park community, which means we are taking our kids to that next level and moving where the world is going in terms of technology. We pride ourselves in having highly skilled and qualified educators who are consistent within the development of every single learner holistically, hence why we are so core on our pillars. Part of why we decided to become an e-learning school is because even though we educate within this community, we need to show them difference. We need to be different. We need to be able to compete with the market of schools within the country. Our learners do not bring textbooks to school. Their books are on their tablets, which already sets them apart from their peers. And we pride ourselves that we have given them that next level, that we have given them the confidence to go compete with other private schools, to go compete with our big government schools within the greater Johannesburg. Our chairman, Melvin Watkins, was bred and born within the Eldorado Park community, and he always had a desire to give back to the community. He is the founding member and the chairman of Newgen Academy, alongside with Mr. Swartz, who has been principal within this community for over 5 decades. He himself is also one of the founding members, and they felt they needed to give back. They are now businessmen who are obviously outside of this community, but the colored communities are a forgotten community, and they felt that they needed to come back and plant and sow. And I'm so blessed that I was a part of that team 10 years ago, and we got to hold hands and walk this journey together. Newgen Academy has also been a beacon of hope within this community, hence why our parents have supported us in the manner in which they have, and we are 10 years old. We have become the school of choice. We do not conform to any of the societal norms and standards within this community, which already makes us stand out. Drugs, alcohol, kids coming to school with knives and guns, it does not form part of our culture at all. Our discipline is at another level because we want to produce kids that stand out in a neighborhood where this is so prevalent. We make sure that our kids are protected and looked after as soon as they set foot into our premises. We have 24-hour security on premises on the weekends, and our kids do feel safe here. The culture we have maintained within Newgen Academy stems from one of our core pillars, which is discipline. It is not negotiable. It is not up for discussion. Parents put their kids in the school because they want difference, because they see difference, and because we are different. Our kids are at a standard where there is no nonsense, because we are trying to create citizens of this country that can go out and conform to the rules and regulations of the country. Therefore, our code of conduct is not negotiable. I think to try and pinpoint specific moments over the last 10 years of what has been core and the most satisfying I'd lose the essence of the school, because there's been so many over the years. Year one was we made it. we have conquered 1 year, because when we opened our doors, we only opened our doors to 14 learners, and our highest number reached was 500 learners. So every year has been a milestone, and every year in itself has very core, memorable stuff. But I think for me, one of the biggest things that we will hold dear or stand on and say we achieved, we accomplished, we reached, was during COVID. COVID knocked so many funded, I say it again, funded private schools, and we're not funded. We are a fee-paying school, and we rely on our communities to support us. And we stood the test of time. And when it was announced schools cannot go back, our staff had 1 week. And I think one of our advantages within this community was that we are e-learning. So we were back at school from day one. And our kids in that year and the year after COVID just excelled. And we can actually see now how COVID has damaged learners that we do get in from other schools because of the gaps that are within the education, because kids didn't go to school for so long. So for me, if I had to take 10 years and say, what was the moment? It was when we came out stronger and better in a season that should have knocked us down. This was never started for profit. This was started to plant a seed and see the harvest. This was for legacy. So in saying that, we need to make sure that it does stand in 10 years. Our goal, our dream, our vision is to see lots of Newgen academies planted within coloured communities, to give them an opportunity and a chance. So in 10 years, I hope that we have 3-4 more schools. Our vision is to have that. In 10 years' time, this school that we're currently sitting on needs to be elsewhere within this community, because we are expectant on growth. We need to reach the 1,000. We have 1,000 learners. In 10 years' time, which would be 20 years, I want learners to come back and say, we made it because of what happened here.
My name is Sally Plessis, and I am the senior science teacher at Newgen Academy. Newgen Academy was started in 2014, and when it was started, it only had 12 learners. This year, we had over 480 learners, so it has grown, and we have learners from grade 1 to grade 12, and we're very proud of our pass of last year, 2022, where we had 100% pass in the matriculants, and we anticipate that is going to be the same this year. But Newgen is also a private school in a disadvantaged community, and so to a great extent, this is an achievement where we could show learners that to be part of the community, it's not necessary for you not to achieve, but also being part of a private school where parents came forward and said, we want our children to be here, we're willing to pay for that privilege, and we are so privileged to have those children here because they've been a great encouragement to us as the staff. We cater not just for learning at the school, but we feel we must have a holistic approach. And so our 3 pillars are for the body, for the soul, and for the spirit. And so we try to, in that way, get learners to be well balanced. In our teaching, we are always made aware of where our learners come from, so that if possible, if we detect that learner is not mentally stable or not in a good mental frame, we would then, call the learner aside, have a personal chat with the learner, and from that we would deduce if the learner needs counseling. We would then send them to our in-house counseling sessions, so that then we would get a report back. The report back would be taken to the principal as well as the teacher that reported that this learner is facing a challenge. The challenge need not just be mentally. The challenge could be in the fact of learning. The learner may have problems with mathematics. So what we've done is we've even got a program now where we call it the Maths Incubator, where learners are catered for from grade 8 until grade 12 in maths. So this program is written up in such a way that learners could log onto it anytime, 24/7, and they can go into sections of the work that they don't understand. So that's also one of the ways in which we try to cater for our learners. We've also got 2 learners that serve on the council, the Johannesburg Students' Council. They started in grade 10. They've now gone to grade 12, so we've appointed another 3 learners that would now go to the Student Council, and they are to start in grade 10. So it's not just a case of catering for our learners in maths or in their challenges that they face. We also try to get them in some ways involved in the community, and also to become part of teaching and learning outside of the community as represented by governance. So and then those learners would, if they involved there, they would come back, they would report in an assembly to the learners, this is what we've done at that council. We've been taught to negotiate, we've been taught to mediate, we've seen how they run the finances. So in that way, we find that those learners come back enriched to a great extent. So being at Newgen, I know that it's a small school, but it's also enabled us to give back more than we would have. But that doesn't mean I haven't been involved in the other schools in the area. I have. And I do realize that our learners have a lot of challenges which they face. Crime may be one of them. Remedial learning which needs to be approached, gender-based violence. Those are all things that you become aware of when you teach at the government schools in the area. So coming to the school and having engaged with that at the other schools also, I find it important that here we address those the minute the learner comes to the school. So we try to, in every aspect, look at that. But let's go back to the e-learning part of teaching and learning. That has enabled our learners to engage globally with teaching and learning. We are also able better to track what the learner is doing in the class by going to the e-learning platform. Because on that platform, I would be able to see what time the learner goes onto the platform. I would also be able to see what work that learner has engaged with. And it also gives me an opportunity to say, we are doing revision. Here is your part in revision. I'm going to test for this. So it is done to every learner can't say, I wasn't at school and I wasn't able to get that. The e-learning platform enables us to say, you were supposed to be on your e-learning platform. You are to go onto the learning pathway, and that is the thing. Also, our parents are better able to communicate with us. They do it through our emails. So we've got a one-to-one email with parents. So anytime the parent doesn't feel happy, the parent can just make an appointment with us. We can make time and say, come and see us. And because of those platforms that we have in e-learning, we find our communication between parent, learner, and teachers at the school works great for us. As a teacher, I've enjoyed being here because my class size says I get to know my learners to a greater extent. I'm able to talk to them. I'm able to find out how are they doing? How are they doing physically? How are they doing spiritually? Do they do an extramural activity that we have here at school? Do they want to play chess? Do they want to talk about how to talk to do public speaking? So for me, and also for me, it's not just a case of the learner doing well. As a teacher, I want to see the learner being able to get the confidence that learner needs to go out into the community, to go out into the world and say, and I've had learners come back and say, ma'am, I was able to do this because you encouraged me to do that. That is my Thanksgiving. That is what I want to see. You've made a difference in the learners' lives. You've given them what they needed at the time that they needed it. And because of the size of the classes, that enabled me to do that. And that is what we offer here at Newgen Academy. As a parent, you are always looking for the best for your child. I, as a parent, said to my children, you are going to Newgen Academy. Why? Because I want my grandchildren to have the best education that they can get in this community. And I feel I can give it to them. So I recommend you send your child to Newgen if you want the best learning, teaching, and attitude for your child to succeed in life.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Khriaf. I am the business studies teacher as well as the life orientation teacher, but I'm also head of communication, student affairs, and the head of technology at Newgen Academy. So Newgen Academy is an e-learning school, and which is exciting because the jobs of the future, learners are going to have to be exposed to technology, not only technology, being in a computer or being computer literate, but also coding and robotics as well. So as a school, we're striving to expose all our learners to those skills and equipping them, not only in the high school, but from grade 1 right up until grade 12. E-learning at Newgen Academy starts off with the basics. We don't have textbooks at the school. All the textbooks, e-books are downloaded on their tablet. So that alone gives them that advantage in the classroom of incorporating a tablet into the learning environment. So all of the applications, for example, get utilized in the classroom. So as a teacher, it makes your job more exciting, I want to actually say, because it challenges you to deliver your lesson through a different approach, a more exciting approach, where learners are more engaged. So you're educating or you're teaching a generation that's almost addicted to a cell phone. So as a teacher, you're competing with that. So one of my mentors said, you shouldn't be scared of a cell phone in the classroom. You should bring the cell phone into the lesson. So using the device and delivering your lesson in a different way, because learners are so engaged and excited about a cell phone. So using that as a platform to deliver your lesson as well, and not being afraid of it being a disturbance in the classroom. So the benefits of e-learning, especially at Newgen Academy, is we use a platform called ITSI. So ITSI, all the resources that the educator uses in the classroom are accessible at home. And what's also another benefit is the learner doesn't need Wi-Fi at home to access those resources. So as soon as at school we have Wi-Fi, you download your resources and then it's on your tablet forever, in essence, until you want to delete it. So that way, when the learner is at home doing homework, they can access those resources, but also it takes their learning to the next level. Being that if you're studying or you're struggling with a concept, you can go over those topics. You can even put videos in the learning path that explains concepts even further. So the learner has that. If they're not the type of person that will raise their hand in the classroom and ask a question, they have those resources at home that can guide them step by step if they're struggling with a concept. So learners at Newgen Academy, they have a competitive advantage in the workplace because they're exposed to applications not only on the computer being Microsoft, but also on their tablets. So it will make them stand out amongst the rest of the candidates that apply for a job, being the basic computer literacy skills that you'll need for the job. Firstly, I believe teaching is a calling. So as you have your relationship with God, God will give you the wisdom, He'll give you the knowledge, He'll give you the skills of how to mold the learner in your classroom holistically. So as a teacher, in my personal capacity, that's what I always strive for, is looking at the learner as an individual with all their weaknesses, with all their shortcomings, and how they can be molded in the classroom setting to be the best version of who God created them to be. But as a staff, because being a Christian school as well, the staff as well, we all have that culture of instilling that mentality in our classroom.
My name is Marlon Lowe. I'm the executive head of Newgen Academy that is based in Eldorado Park. I've joined Newgen in 2022. And one of the reasons why I've joined Newgen Academy is, number one, the pillars that they are based on. Three strong pillars. One is academics, the second one is sports and culture, and the third one is technology. I think we all know that we're moving into a technology era. And one thing that I've picked up in 2020, 2021 with Newgen is, whilst all the public schools went down in terms of teaching during a period of COVID, Newgen is one of the schools who succeeded in making sure that those learners were taught every single day. So it said to me there's vision. And that's one of the reasons why I decided, let me come and join and see if I can contribute towards this particular institution. Looking at the performance of Newgen as well, over the last 9 years, you could see academically they're doing well. In terms of learner discipline and behavior, they're doing extremely well. Yes, we agreed it's a small school, it's a combined school. We're sitting currently with 450 learners. But if there is no basis, strong foundation for discipline and Christian values, then the school would not have achieved over the last 10 years. In 2022, the school attained a 100% pass rate. It is our intention to make sure that we keep that particular pass rate and improve on the quality of passes. And perhaps that is where we want to move forward. I spoke about the three pillars. Academically, I've indicated to you that the school is doing extremely well. So there we are good. We just need to improve the quality of our academics. In terms of sports and culture, we are growing. We offer your rugby, your soccer, your netball. We started with hockey with the smaller learners as well. So we are growing. We are competing not just against the Kuros and so, but we also competing against our local schools, our public schools. And we could also see that we are forced to be reckoned with. When I look at the values, the staff in general, not just the teaching staff, but I'm talking about the entire staff, they make you feel so comfortable, the unity amongst them, the working together, making a success of every single event that we have. Yes, we have our differences in terms of, because we're always looking at what is the best for our learners, what is the best for the institution. Our board of directors, you belong to a family. You don't belong to a school, but you belong to a family where we can have our discussions, where we can have our differences and see how we can build. And also the intake that we're taking from our community. We don't have a very affluent community, but we give the best to our parents. Right? We give the very best to our parents. It's an honor to be part and parcel of this community. I must also emphasize we are a very diverse community as well, and a very diverse school. To our parents out there, and I think up to now, it's been a proven fact that once you enroll your child, we take care of the child holistically. When I say holistically, I'm saying we are in contact with parents on the academic side of the particular learner and also on other sides as well. We also make sure that we assess our learners. We have a teacher that is responsible for the social aspects of the school. By that also, when we engage with learners, whether it's personal problems at home or academic problems at school, we will then also refer the learners to psychologists, educational psychologists, which plays a major impact in terms of learner performance and also learner well-being. So with that we refer, but also we engage with our parents on a regular basis so that parents can see we are taking care of the learner in total. Safety of the school, yes, we also make sure that in terms of the school safety, we have very friendly security guards at home, but also very effective security guards. So, and I spoke about the family. So every single person contributes towards the safety and the well-being of the child and every single staff member of the school. You see, at Newgen Academy, we also make sure throughout the entire year, there's a lot of activities, fun activities where we involve parents, where we celebrate with parents, where we have our learners as well. On academic side, now recently, we had our Honours Day for our primary school learners, with the Honours Day for the high school learners. And I think at the moment, at the background, you can also see we are busy with the very first Christmas carols that we're introducing for the school. It's going to be a massive success, right? And this is why you can see we are all dressed in our Christmas gear. We're ready to enjoy, and we want to use this opportunity to wish every single parent, every single household a very, very Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. We want to say that let us make sure it's festive, yes, but let us be responsible in how we celebrate festive. We know it's economically it's a very difficult year, but let us also then plan for next year. Let us make sure we stay safe, and let us make sure we have an appointment with the future.
Hi, my name is Ntokozo Jangase, and I am the head boy for 2024 in Newgen Academy. I've been here since grade 8. What I'm looking forward to most is how we will work together as a prefect group, since we are much larger than other prefects in previous years. And I want to see how we'll work together and how we'll push the school forward together in all aspects. The other exciting part of next year is that I'll be head boy, and I will have a deputy head boy who will help me by my side so that we can make sure that the school is run properly, effectively, and in a good manner. I am looking forward to implementing sports culture in the school to show more that we are more of a family, and that everybody is included, so that we can do everything together and grow as a group, which is one of the core beliefs of Newgen, as we are a very small school, so we want to stay together and support each other in any way possible. What I've learned from Newgen all my years being here is that the teachers are very accommodative, and that they give you time to adjust, they help you out a lot, and the spirit here at the school is one where we support each other and no one is left behind. So being in such an environment helped me gain confidence in myself and in others, and that helped me become a better person. This year was my grade 11 year, so it was my toughest year being in high school, and having to go to the teachers and ask them for help, asking where I could improve, that really helped a lot, and it meant a lot to me that the teachers took their time out to come and help me, and other students who also came to them for their help, which I really appreciate a lot, since I know it's a luxury for most schools and in a school here. And yeah, that is what I'm grateful. I'm looking forward to the experience that we'll have next year, as a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and I want to make the most of it next year by enjoying myself while also focusing on school and doing the most that I can all the time throughout the whole year. After matric, I want to go do a computer science degree and hopefully become a software engineer or software developer. Any of those two jobs, as they're both great jobs. And Newgen is preparing me by offering us a class called CAT, which is Computer Applications Technology, which teaches us the basics of how to write code and how to do software within the computer, which helps us a lot in understanding and what we'll be doing after school. My appreciation is the support we get from all the teachers, from all the staff. Everywhere we go, we get heads ups, we get motivation. So wherever you go, you'll find motivation in the school. And on behalf of all the students, I take that as a token of appreciation, as it really helps me get through the tough times and the exam periods. So it's really tough being alone, and knowing that you have teachers and staff being there to support you is honestly one of the best things you could ask for. And that is what I appreciate the most about the school. And I think I speak on behalf of all of the students, and is that we all agree on that we love their support.
Thank you.